Hey YouTube, are you 6 feet away? Are you keeping the distance? Yeah, I think you're far enough away for this one. You know, I wanted to have a little sit with you in the park today on this beautiful Saturday in Montreal and talk about the state of travel. I feel like this is the elephant in the room for all travelers right now, for all travel channels on YouTube. And probably why no one else is making a video like this right now is because we really don't know. And making any predictions about what the future will bring will probably just make you look like a dummy in a couple of months when everything could have changed. But I wanted to make a sit-down video to let you know how I feel about the state of travel and how I think we can continue to behave like travelers, to think like travelers, even if we're living in a world without travel. And that might seem like kind of a dramatic thing to say. Like, I said that to my girlfriend the other day, you know, I'm in this weird position. I'm a travel YouTuber in a world without travel. And she said, we're not in a world without travel, like it's not gone forever. And that may be the case. It's not gone forever, but I do feel it will be a while before things are back to normal. You know, I keep seeing people saying they're going to be on the first flight when this is all over, and they can't wait to get traveling again. But I got to be honest, I've been thinking deeply about what it means to be a traveler in this time, and how, you know, in many senses, it's travel that caused this virus to spread so quickly. That's the dirty secret here. It's people flying all around the world that makes a virus so difficult to control, because there's so many different pieces of the puzzle moving so quickly. And now, just as the best, or I should say the most responsible thing we can do is to stay in one place, to stay home, to limit our exposure to other people. That responsibility extends to travelers as well. So I think even if the cases in your country or your city have gone way down, even if the virus is completely controlled in certain parts of the world, we are all united. You know, even if one country, like let's say the Philippines still has cases and everywhere else it's gone, we as a human race still have a problem. Because all it takes is one person from the Philippines to travel, or one person like me, one traveler to visit the Philippines, and you can bring the virus back to your country, and then like we are back at the beginning. We have to lock things down. We have to go through this process again. So as a traveler, I am seeing this as a world without travel until we have a vaccine or an effective treatment. So the question remains, okay, now that I've painted this the bleak reality and we are thinking of a world without travel, what does that mean for us? How do we continue to behave and to carry ourselves? Well, for me, it comes down to asking yourself why it is you traveled in the first place. In my case, I've always loved interacting with different cultures and different people. I think the variety of the world, the ways that we are so different and yet so fundamentally the same on the inside. You know, how you can go to a place like Kazakhstan, like I'm wearing my Kazakhstan hoodie right now. I got this on my trip over there last year. You can go to a place like Kazakhstan where you have no idea what life will be like, and you can see these crazy things. You can drink camel milk, an experience that I had that I would never have here in Canada. You can do these wildly different things, and yet you can laugh about the same jokes with the people from Kazakhstan as in the country of Canada, as in Mexico, as in France, as in any place that you go. That's one great thing about travel for me. It shows us that We're all the same. Fundamentally, deep down, we're all the same. And it's that human connection, those moments with other people. That's what I love about traveling. I'm going to keep thinking about ways that I can have those moments, even in this world that we're living in now. And for some of us, if we can't travel, it might mean reflecting on the travels we've already taken. I've been thinking a lot about my time recently in Brazil and India, and of course Mexico, where I lived for a year. It's crazy when you stop and think back, isn't it? Sometimes in life, when you're always moving, it's like you're on a treadmill, you're always running, you're always going, you're always going, you're always going, and you're having all these great experiences, and then you step off, and everything stops. And suddenly you're like, wait, what do? I'm so used to running, I'm so used to going everywhere. For me, it was traveling to all these countries, but for other people, it might be just working your job every day, or going to school every day, or meeting your friends every day, or watching, just whatever you do. And suddenly it stops, and you have all this time, and you're alone with your thoughts. And it can be scary at first, because, well, let's be honest, there's a lot going on in our heads. There are some good thoughts, there are some bad thoughts. It's just, anyone who says otherwise, I think, is a liar. I think we all have trouble when we are socially isolated. It's hard for everyone. Deep down, it's hard. And it's okay to admit that. It's okay to be open about that. If you have a problem being on your own, it's not you that has the problem. It just shows that you are a social person. It shows that you love people. I think it's very important to remember that during these times. But my greater point is this, that whatever it is that you liked about traveling, you need to hold on to that. There are ways we can change how we are thinking about this, even if we can't change the circumstance that we're in. And I think as travelers, that's how we need to approach this right now. It's not the time to be thinking about our next flight. It's not the time to be thinking about where we want to. I mean, you can think about where you want to go when this is over, but for me, that's not where my mind is at. My mind is at reflecting on all the places I've been, all the lessons I've learned, and just being grateful for every one of them. In fact, I have some big news, a new travel exclusive for anyone who's watching this video. I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book about my year in Mexico. It's going to be called The Mexico I Know, 12 Lessons Learned Through a Year Traveling and Living in Mexico. And as the title suggests, it's going to be about some of the most memorable moments that have left life lessons with me. So it's a book about Mexico. It's a book about travel. It's a book about my story as a YouTuber living in Mexico. But more than that, it's just about the crazy things that can happen when you give yourself up to a foreign country and just live that experience in a place so different than your own. And I'm really, really happy as I write this. I've been writing it the past few weeks, and it's really giving me a purpose during this lockdown. It's really great to wake up every day and put the pen, well, sometimes I put the pen to paper, but mostly I'm typing, to be honest. But just to put my fingers to the keys and feel as though I'm working on something with some meaning behind it. For those who don't know, I always love writing. This is a book I've been working on for a few weeks, but really I've been working on it for a couple of years. Ever since I moved to Mexico, I've been thinking about wanting to write a book. Yeah, that's all I can say about it for now. But if you are interested in that, definitely leave a comment. And if I don't have any book ready or any updates on this in a couple months, you guys all got to spam the comments. Dan, where's your book? Where's your book? Where's your book? Because I don't want to quit on this one. Years ago, I tried to write a book. After I lived in France, I tried to write a book about that. And you know, sometimes life gets in the way. We have these things we want to do, and we find the excuses not to do them. Well, my friends, even though we can't travel right now, even though we can't do so much, there are so many things we can do. The things we've been putting off doing. The things we know deep down we're capable of doing. As a final message for today, I'd just like to give a little reminder to be nice to each other and to remember that we're all in this together. If there's one good thing about all this, it's like finally we can empathize with strangers a bit more. Finally we can kind of realize that we're all going through the same life struggles. We don't need to be fighting with each other. Like, we can work together and solve this. If the poorest countries on earth still have this virus spreading, like they can spread to richer countries, it's an equalizer in some sense. We are all equal once again. We were born equal, but sometimes we forget. Don't forget. Don't forget that people are all the same inside. Don't forget that we're stronger when we work together. And don't forget that everything in life goes in cycles. Everything has a beginning and an end. And I think I'm near the end of this video. Because I don't have much else to say other than that. But I hope that wherever you're watching from, you're having a wonderful day. I hope that I was able to brighten your day a bit with this video, with these random thoughts that I've shared. As always, guys, I'm Dan from The New Travel. See you next time.